Randolph County 4-H. I hope you are all doing well and staying safe and healthy. I know these times are really crazy and we don't know what's going on, and we hear things on the news, and it's just, change is scary. So I know it's been an adjustment being at home and away from your friends and your teachers. But Randolph County 4-H is excited to provide an opportunity for you to garden at home. Now, some of you may already have gardens at home, but some students may not have gardens. So Randolph County 4-H teamed up with some sponsors to provide at-home gardening kits for all 5th grade students in Randolph County schools. We packed 1,232 kits last week. The kits were sponsored by Southern States of Asheboro, Randolph County Cooperative Extension, and the North Carolina Farm to School Coalition. So we're so excited to unpack the kit and talk about the things that are inside of the kit. Now, most of the kits have the larger peat pots. However, when we had to order 2,464 kits or peat pots within 1 week, it was really hard to get all of the same. So some of the kits may have smaller peat pots in them, but that's okay. We can garden with either size. It's all going to come out the same. So let's talk about the things inside of the kit. So your kit should look like this if you haven't already gone through it. So we'll open it up, and the first thing we'll look at, there is a brochure. It says Get Growing with Randolph County 4-H. So when you open it, it talks about everything that plants need in order to grow. Now, some of you may have had me come into your classroom in the 1st grade. I remember starting the Farm to Table program at Southmont Elementary School with the 1st graders there. So some of the 5th graders that are watching the video now were actually one of my very first classes in the Farm to Table program. So one of the things that I talk to 1st graders about, and then I expand upon in different grade levels, are the things that plants need in order to grow. Inside of the brochure, you will see an acronym. I like to use the acronym LAWNS to help me remember all of the things that a seed needs in order to grow. So the L is for light. Now we can have the sunlight, of course, or we can also have artificial light. So plants can grow underneath grow lamps, they can grow inside buildings, we can use artificial light. Then the A is for air. So humans have to breathe, our plants have to breathe as well. The next letter is W, and that is for water. Humans drink water, our plants need water. And the next thing is N for nutrients. So we have to feed our plants in order to help them grow strong, healthy, and establish good roots. Our soil helps us to do that. The last letter is S. Now, most people are going to think that the S is for soil. Actually, it's for space. So we need to provide our seeds a place to grow. So in your garden kit, we will have the peat pots and also the Jiffy expandable pellet. And that's going to provide a place for your seeds to grow. But seeds, they can grow in hydroponics, so that is in water. We have aquaponic systems where plants are growing simultaneously with fish. So those are some things that you'll learn about when you move up to middle school, and you might even get to see some of those in person. Also in the brochure, it talks about all of the things that are inside of your garden kit. It talks about commonly used garden tools. Now, if you have these at home already, that's fine. If not, you can buy them, but don't feel like you have to buy them because you have 2 hands and those are perfect for the gardening that you're going to be doing. It also talks about the life cycle of a bean plant. You can read that, and you can also learn more from the gardening packet. And then it gives you instructions on how to plant the seeds. On the back of the brochure is my contact information. So if you have any questions at all or want to send me an email, I would love to hear from you. My email is on the back here, and links to our Facebook page and our website. So let's get our hands dirty and dive into our gardening kit. Now, whether or not you got the larger peat pots or the smaller peat pots, either one is fine. We're still going to be able to garden. We had to buy 2,464 peat pots, and within a week's time it was kind of hard to find all of them. So we have the peat pots in your kit. We have a bag of soil. Now this soil has added nutrients in it, and that's going to help your seeds to establish strong root systems and grow strong, tall, and healthy. Then we have a Jiffy expandable pellet. I will be making another video to show you how to plant the seeds in the Jiffy expandable pellet. But this is pretty cool. You add water and it expands. Just another example of how you don't have to have soil to grow all of your plants. And the very last thing inside of the bag are your seeds. So all of your seeds are packaged in a snack-sized Ziploc bag. There are 3 types of seeds. We have 2 tomato seeds, 2 cucumber seeds, and 2 zinnia seeds. Now, there are hundreds of varieties of seeds. Just like we have different breeds of dogs, we also have different breeds of the same seed. So some people might have a golden retriever, some people might have a poodle, some people might have a beagle. Well, our seeds are the same way. We have different types of them. So in your packet for the tomato seeds, you will either receive a Marglobe tomato or a Roma tomato seed. Now, Marglobe tomatoes, those are perfect for making a good old messy tomato sandwich. They're going to be larger in size, round shape, whereas a Roma tomato is longer and narrow, more narrow. These tomatoes are perfect to make juice with, use for soups, or you can cut them up and put them in a salad as well. You can also use them on your tomato sandwiches if you want to. Those tomatoes are just going to be smaller. The cucumber seeds that we have are poinsettia cucumber seeds or pickling cucumber seeds. Either one, they're still going to be great to eat. One of my favorite ways to eat cucumbers in the summertime is cucumbers and vinegar. That is my favorite. But either way, your cucumbers are going to be good. They'll still taste pretty much the same. The germination days might be a little different. And the last seed in your bag are zinnia seeds. So these are going to be a pretty flower. They have pretty big blooms on them, and the colors are assorted. So it'll be exciting to see what your blooms will actually look like when they open up. So let's take a closer look at our seeds. Our tomato seeds are small. These were a lot of fun counting out because they're so small. So I'm going to pour a few in my hand here. And these are more round in shape. Some of them kind of look like little teardrops. But they are a light brown color. They are more round. So I think you'll be able to tell the difference between the seeds pretty easily. So those are our tomato seeds. And then we have our cucumber seeds. Now cucumber seeds are going to be a lot longer. They're more narrow, not as round. but they are definitely the larger seed in your bag, most likely. As you can see, they are still light brown in color, but those are your cucumber seeds. And then we have our zinnia seeds. So as you can see, they're assorted colors. Now there are different varieties of zinnia seeds. So there's the big tetra, so they have really big blooms. Then you have cut and come again zinnias, and they're going to be a little bit smaller. But either way, you're still going to have pretty flowers to enjoy. So let me pour out a few of these. Now for the most part, these are black seeds. They might be a darker brown. It just depends. Now these kind of look like flower petals almost, but they're not as smooth feeling. They kind of have a rougher, drier texture. But you can, I feel confident that you all will be able to tell the difference between the seeds. Now, while I have a seed packet in my hand, let's take a look at the back of a seed packet. Now, a seed packet has all of the information that you need to know about growing whatever type of seed it is. So it tells you how much sunlight it needs. That's very important. Now, most of our vegetables need lots of sun in order to grow. So we need full sun for our cucumbers and our tomatoes, as well as our zinnias. But it tells you, and it also tells you how many days to germinate, how many days it will bloom. Germinate is just a big fancy word, which means to grow, to sprout. It tells you how tall your flowers or your vegetables are going to grow. So zinnias are about 30 inches in height. When you are planting, it tells you how deep to plant your seeds in the soil. Now, some seeds have to be planted deep in the soil. Some we just scatter along the top, and then some of them we do about 1/4 of an inch. With the zinnias, that's what we're going to do. It also has a map of the United States, and it talks about the different planting zones. So Randolph County is in zone 7B. So we can grow more things and they'll last longer. You know, when the weather starts to get cooler, some of our plants will grow a lot longer than plants in the mountains. So we are able to grow a few more things that the mountains couldn't grow. You know, but the mountains have Christmas trees, so we don't really have a lot of Christmas trees around here. That's just a fun agricultural fact for you. But like I said, seed packets tell you everything that you need to know about the seed that you are growing. In your packet, there is also, it's from Wyatt Corals, a seed company in Garner, North Carolina. But it also tells you the information, so you can look at the tomato and the cucumber planting information. So the cucumber, you will have, so you either have the poinsettia or the pickling cucumber. Those are still the same. You want to plant those 1 inch into the soil.